Deltarune Chapter 5 is releasing tomorrow, and I just need to talk about it. From the story, the art, the characters, the writing, the music, it's genuinely one of my favorite games of all time, and there's still so much to go. After playing the entirety of the Weird Route live on my Twitch channel, I decided to have a go at drawing the fun gang in my style. This whole video was recorded live on both Twitch and on Marikyuun live here on YouTube. Yes, we're multi-streaming now. Let's find out how I did, shall we? Alright, so the first speed paint I'm gonna show you guys is Kris Dreamer. Yeah, usually on my speed paints, I always start like with the circle for the head and then I do everything else. Something interesting that I noticed that I did here, I'm already pausing, I'm sorry. Usually I start with like a stick figure. Starting with a stick figure often helps me like figure out what I want to do with the pose. But on this one, I just kind of raw dogged it. I just kind of went with the flow, you know? Like, oh, I guess we worry about that later, huh? As you can see, I drew the hand before drawing the rest of the arm. That is because usually there is a trick that helps you place the elbow. Unfortunately for past Mari, I did not do this correctly. Usually the trick to figuring out where the elbow is on an artwork is if you have the shoulder and you have the hand, if you do like a 90-degree like angle, like what is this called?
Perpendicular.
That is usually where the elbow is going to be. So that's how you know. If you wanna like place where like the elbow is, that's like a good way to do it. So if you start like by doing the hand, once you figure out like where the shoulder is gonna be, this trick works every single time. So 90-degree angle, boom, boom, elbow is gonna be here. Yeah, I don't know if this is like 100% like correct, but overall this is usually how you do it. And as you can see, I didn't do a 90-degree angle. Correctly, this would look like this instead. We just started and I'm already seeing mistakes on the anatomy that I drew. Immediately right from the start, I see a problem. I try to correct it after, but the whole like angle stuff is still not correct. Honestly, it's not super visible because fortunately it's all like covered by the scarf. So there's a fan art of my friend Kale that my friend Kale did of Kris a while ago that has like, they drew their scarf like all ripped out like that, and I thought it was so cool. I just thought it was the coolest. That fan art of Kale's was a big inspiration for my Kris artwork as well, so I'm going to show it. Taka, please show it on the YouTube video. So for this one, I went, yeah, also obviously like cleaning up the sketch a lot. I like doing that. I feel like usually the cleaner you have your sketch, the easier it is to then do line art. As you can see, I did like one regular sketch of like just the body, and then I added like everything else. I tried designing some interesting armor. For me, it was also important to have Kris be kind of like, not look like a guy or like a girl, right? Kind of like androgynous. It was kind of my vibe here. Hopefully you can tell. Hopefully that's like the vibe that we got here. And then I wanted to fill in the sketch with like, or like I wanted to fill in the canvas with some other expressions, you know, just to add a little more color and a little more interest, I suppose. I drew like a little blushy Kris because I think they're just so cute. And then, yeah, a little smirky little eating grin kind of Kris as well. I believe I drew this on stream. Twitch.tv/Marikyuun, by the way. I believe I drew this on stream back then, back in the day, so I think a lot of you guys might have seen this already. Exactly, you gotta do as I say, not as I do. It is how that goes, isn't it? So yeah, and then we immediately start line art. Obviously, we go thick lines on the outside and thin lines on the inside. Thick lines on the outside and thin lines on the inside. Obviously, said that right, first try. Something interesting that I did here that I like is that I tried to make the shading kind of interesting. As you can see, I used halftones, and I think that's gonna give a really interesting effect later. This is also the way I always do metal. Whenever I'm drawing like armor or like metallic things, I like using like plain black shading. I think it gives it a very striking look. Especially because when you're doing metallic surfaces, you always want to have as much like contrast as possible. And then with these halftones, it immediately darkens the rest, right? Even though this leg is behind and it should technically be darker than the leg in front, I think just by adding the halftone and the very saturated color, I think it gives it such like an interesting, almost visual texture, right? It's like if you put it in your mouth, it goes like, it's like texture. So yeah, that's my analogy. Those are my analogies. Professional artist, by the way. Then for the shading, I just noticed this is the bisexual flag. Happy Pride Month, by the way. So yeah, I colored everything. All the blacks then became like rainbow or I guess more or less like purplish, pinkish, which, you know, goes really well with Kris. Here I'm adding like outlines to the character itself because I didn't want to outline the whole thing. I just wanted to make sure the arm was like more, the arm and the leg, they were more separated from the rest. So yeah, and then we just line the rest, you know, same old, thick lines on the outside, thin lines on the inside. It's very easy when you do it the second try, or like the second time, because you already know which colors you're gonna be using. How long did I spend on this? I actually don't know exactly how long I spent on this, but it was at least 6 or 7. Anyway, around 7-8 hours. Would the same thing apply to gold looking armor? Yes, I would say so. Anything metallic. I think metal, coloring metal lives and dies by the contrast, right? If you look at like golden things or metallic things, you'll notice that the contrasts are very high. So I think it does. Yeah, I think it always looks good if you add as much contrast as possible. So yeah, whoa, okay, why do you look like that? What the helly? So yeah, that is Kris. That's the first artwork of the 3. I really like how it came out. I think I really matched like their kind of like cheeky energy, I feel a little bit. I wanted kind of to do that. That is a big like plot point of Deltarune, is the fact that Kris is their own person. Whenever they're like shy, they hide a little bit, or, you know, Kris is known for flirting well, so obviously I wanted all that to kind of show. So yeah, I hope I managed to do this character justice. Yeah, next up we've got Susie. Unfortunately for this one, I didn't start recording the speed paint right away. I already had this already made, and then I only started recording after, unfortunately. Oh, this is one of those where I'm like cleaning up the sketch. So, a little tangent. Do as I say, don't do as I do. You know what I mean? It makes me feel like I can already see how the drawing is gonna look like when it's finished, and it gives me a lot of like comfort, right? I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna look epic. Now I'm motivated to finish it. As you can see, I had a lot of trouble. I had a lot of trouble figuring out how to draw Susie. Whoa, as you can see, whoa, who is she? This is completely different from the final result. That's crazy. And as you can see, I just completely ignored all of this. She looked kind of hot here. I don't know what happened. And we started over because that wasn't working out. And she immediately turns into Barney the dinosaur. I wanted her to be goofy, I wanted her to be friendly, because Susie is a friend, she is friend-shaped, she is my personal friend. Yeah, that would be how... exactly like how Noelle sees her in her dream. But like with a tail, right? And yeah, so I wanted to really stylize her and make her not scary at all, even though she's obviously a monster. I wanted also her to fit with Kris in the same... like not in the same illustration, but like in the same group of illustrations. So yeah, I'm really glad I went for this direction instead of the direction that I was going for with like sexy Susie. So yeah, I ended up fixing up the other sketch. I gave her like a rounder face, I guess. I don't know what you call it, a nozzle?
Snow.
So yeah, really like a round snout, just like friend-shaped. Even the teeth, I didn't really make the teeth like super sharp. And like her claws, because I just wanted her to look like a friend. I think she ended up looking really good. I think she ended up looking really like from the same universe as Kris. So I'm very happy with that. Her design is, I think, by default, is not as detailed as Kris's is, but I still tried to do like the same, you know. On the metallic bracelets, I still tried to do like the same kind of shading with like the blacks and like the halftones and everything. So yeah, basically the same idea that we already did for Kris, but we do it for Susie. Obviously drawing quote-unquote a furry character is going to be there's going to be differences between drawing like a furry character, or like a scaly in this case, but drawing like furry characters versus drawing humans. There are a couple of changes, but I don't think it should be that different. I think style is not really an excuse for that. I think all styles can be adapted to be able to draw all sorts of things, right? Even though this is like a furry character, quote unquote, it's still a Marikyuun character, right? Like you can still look at her and recognize it as Marikyuun artwork. Hopefully, at least I would hope you could, right? Honestly, these would look very good as stickers, I feel. Oh, I really like what I did here. As you can see, I used like a rainbow effect on the highlights. Basically, I made everything in yellow and then I added like a rainbow gradient to it. I think I did it in soft light or something on top of the yellow so that it gives it this like soft rainbow gradient look. Happy Pride Month! So there she is. First of all, blocking all... Yeah, there we go. There's the rainbows. There's the rainbows happening. I think they look really, really good. Oh, and there we go again. I don't know why this happens. Susie Deltarune. I think this one came out really cute. I really like how she looks together with Kris. I'm very proud of this because I'm not really... This was definitely something I was not super confident in, like, in drawing. So, you know, it made me very happy to draw this character that I like so much. Last but not least, we've got Ralsei! So we got our cute little goat boy. As you can see, I used Kris's artwork as like a base so that I could make sure everything was in the same style. I don't know why I didn't do the same thing for Susie. Oh, we just started. He's cute! Oh, he is so darling. Oh, I love Ralsei. He's adorable. Yeah, so we've got obviously a very fluffy, a very adorable goat boy. Obviously, his anatomy is gonna have to be different than Kris's, right? Because he's a monster, right? He looks different. He's supposed to look different from Kris and stand out while still belonging in the same art style. Big hands, big feet, like big arms as well. And then just kind of like try to... Oh, I guess I had a little bit of trouble with the bangs over there. But yeah, I'm so happy with how Ralsei came out. Then I wanted him to be like... Oh, dude, he looks cute! Oh, I really wanted to draw a hat version of Ralsei because I think that one's still my favorite, Chapter 1 Ralsei. And then finally, the last one, I wanted him to be like real happy. I used the same base of like the face. And now it's finally time for line art. I miss him. I miss Chapter 1 Ralsei so much. So yeah, for Ralsei, I went for the extra thick line outside because he's got such a simple design, right? He doesn't have like human hair or anything like that with a lot of different locks. It's just like the fur and everything. I considered giving him like a different shaped like dress slash tunic. I'm glad I didn't go with that. Big old steppas. He's the big steppa. And then obviously... Oh wow, do you see the amount of control Zing that went over there? Holy! I was fighting for my life! So yeah, this one I don't know why it was so difficult for me to do, but I think he came out so cute. I love Ralsei. He is such a cute guy. He's such a trooper. So yeah, for this one I kind of did the opposite instead of doing shading because he's like his fur is black, right? Because it's in the shadow of the hair. I didn't do shading on him. I did exactly the opposite. I went for highlights instead. So I colored everything the same color as the line art, so quote-unquote black, and then the color comes in the shading itself. So yeah, I think that was a cute little detail, obviously keeping it with like the quote-unquote pride flag gradient shading, because I think it really fits and it really goes with like the dark fountain kind of color schemes that they have in the game. And this is also something I do very frequently whenever I'm coloring white. Like if I'm shading white, I think the most interesting thing you could do is just make rainbow shadows, right? White is just full light, right? The absence of shadow. So it can be all the colors of the rainbow, right? So whenever I'm shading white, I enjoy adding a lot of colors instead of just doing it gray or like a blue. So yeah, as you can see there. Oh, that was very quick. So yeah, that's Ralsei, and that's the last of the three. That was the fun gang in my style. I think they came out really good. If you guys have any questions for me, please let me know about it. I don't know. I just think these guys are neat. I'm just excited about them, and I'm so excited about Deltarune. Deltarune is the kind of game I feel like I play on my own time. However, I will definitely be doing the weird route on stream because we've been doing that lately. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed that.